between here and the goal and figure out what has to happen and when, so that you can, you know, get that stuff all happening. Because, I mean, dude, you got like 100 million balls in the air. If you've got them all written down, it's a whole lot easier to figure them out than it is if you're just juggling and going, which one was that?
Yeah, in the construction industry, we call it a critical path.
Yeah.
So you figure out all the tasks that you need to do to get from point A to point B, and you figure out who needs to do them and what order they need to be done in and what needs to get done in what sequence and all of that.
Right. I mean, I'm a firm believer of I make task list and honey-do list every weekend, and they got to be so big, it's like I need a list for my list. So it's like, let's just storyboard it out. Let's see how everything, because I'm a visual thinker. I like to put things on big boards, and I draw circles, and I say, okay, if I do this, I need this, and then that leads to this. So it just helps me think and clarify, just so I don't miss steps. Because like, oh, I didn't think about that. It's like I'm going to do half that. It's like I was calling Ray down to get insurance quotes, you know, for the spot that I'm going to lease. It's like, okay, yes, I do need insurance, and so you have to call someone and get quotes for insurance, you know. So I've already done most of the business plan, so I know that the finances that he and I talked about will work. So it's just a matter of getting everything in line and just, you know, rolling that ball and just letting it go.
Cool.
That is cool. Well, I'm excited. I mean, I can't wait to see what you do with this. I do expect you to let me know when the pawpaw meat goes in the bottle so that I can drive to Georgia and get me a bottle of that. You know, because I totally
have to mail me one too.
Yeah. But you know, we'll definitely want to try that. Maybe we'll have to have him back on the show. You know.
Yeah.
And,
once you're up and running, we'll have to have you back.
Do a pawpaw tasting.
There you go.
But
well, that's one of the things that I think is going to be good is, and I picked that up when I was at UC Davis, is that we were doing honey tastings and then doing back-to-back meat tastings, and so it sort of helps, you know, from a customer standpoint. If I bring in, you know, the different fruits that I'm using and the different honeys that I'm using, and do a professional level tasting, it's like this is what goes into making this. And so let them taste the pawpaw, let them taste the peaches or the blueberries, and then let them taste the different honeys that are made from the different products. And then bring it in as a third wave and say, now this is what the final product is as far as the meat is concerned. For me, for sensory projections on that, it's like, you know, you sort of lead that client to, you know, to understand not only the process, but the flavor profiles that are in each of the meads. And so that's one of the things that I look forward to trying to do with a lot of my private tastings that I'm going to do.
Nice. I like it. You've got I think you've got a good plan there. You know, I'd love to, you know, when we get offline, talk about it a little bit more. I'm curious to see, you know, what all, you know, you're thinking about doing. But we do need to kind of wind things up because I got Frank waiting in the wings going, hello. He's actually being very patient, but they're getting ready to leave for the Mazer Cup in the morning. So I don't want to hold him over long.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So, I mean, you're more than welcome to stay on the line and take part in the sour mead discussion.
Okay.
And, you know, and see what happens. Yeah, I think we're going to end up getting some calls on that. We're going to open up the lines once we get them in and going. So all y'all out there listening, we apologize for the first part of this was really spotty. We had tweets coming in going, dude, I'm hearing like one word in 10. Yeah, we're really sorry. That was my fault. I think I got it fixed. And with any luck, the rest of the live feed will be good. But don't worry, we are recording. So there will be hopefully a good, clear recording for you to download after the fact. So thanks for being patient with us while we clear up the dust. You've been trying to listen to Blair Housley from Etowah Meadery in Dahlonega, Georgia, and he's going to be opening up with any luck at all this fall with pawpaw and mango and fig and God knows what all other very delicious sounding melomels. So we're all kind of excited to see what happens with that. Thanks for coming on, Blair. Appreciate it.
All right. No, thank you for having me.
Wow, it was fun.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so stick around if you want to, and we'll get on with having the Frank man in here. You want to take over the commercial responsibilities, madam, while I screw up the phone system a little bit here?
Right. Okay, you going to be making noise? Or
I'm going to try not to make too much noise.
Okay. Golden Coast meads are delightful, authentic, and good for the planet. Crafting San Diego-style mead, effervescent, semi-sweet meads that are refreshing any time of the year. Golden Coast Mead endeavors to be a force for good in the world, specifically by helping bees, beekeepers, and the ecosystems we depend on. They donate 1% of their gross revenue to causes that help bees thrive. Save the bees. Drink mead. Learn more and order a bottle of delightfully surprising mead at goldencoastmead.com.
Nicely done. Nicely done. All right. And we are going to see if this is going to work here. I'm going to get Frank, and then I'm going to get Chris. It's supposed to be calling. There we go.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Frank?
Good, Vicki. How are you?
Pretty good. Didn't sound like you there for a second. I'm like, did I call the wrong number? Welcome. Hang on, I'm just ringing Chris right now, so we'll get him in here too.
Sweet, thanks.
And we've got Blair Housley on the line still too from Etowah Meadery, so he's gonna kind of hang with us.
Sweet. Hey, Blair.
Okay, hi, Chris.
Hello.
Hi, Chris. Welcome. It's good to have you. It's good to have you back on the show. You were here last time too, weren't you?
I think it was just me.
Was it? Oh, was it just Frank? Oh, okay. All right. Well, we are happy to have you here. So, all right. So, for those of you just tuning in after our little debacle with the first part of the show, not streaming as nicely as I would like it to have, apologies again. We have Frank Golbeck and Chris Herr from Golden Coast Meadery on with us, and they're here to talk about the secret of the sour mead. I feel like this is a Scooby-Doo mystery. A lot of people have been talking about the sour meads, and they're becoming kind of a thing. So I think that this is a good time to have you guys on here to talk about it, especially since you're doing this amazing open source thing that's so stunning. And I'm trying to find somebody who's a wiki expert so I get this all properly up on Got Mead in a way that people can actually find everything. So, but yeah, but anyway, mainly, we want to have you here just to kind of ramble on about this. And those of you that are listening in, if you can actually hear the feed, the call-in number is 803-443-MEAD. That's 803-443-6323. And if you want to come in on Skype, you can Skype Meadwench. And if you can't do either of those things and want to just tweet us, you can do that too. But be patient with me. I'm juggling half a dozen balls on the show. So, but I would just love to hear you guys ramble on about what, why, how, anything you can think of. And AJ can jump in with questions because she's a huge expert beyond me, way beyond me. So.
Excellent. Well, I'll preface it just by saying what started as an accident because we were making Jun with Tyler Sewell became a beautiful thing that we got very excited about. But our process needed refinement because we found that the sour bug crept along and evolved and pitching the trub, if you will, pitching the leavings from the prior batch, relatively quickly changed on us. Like our first batch of sour was like a Berliner Weiss, tart and refreshing, and just this incredibly compelling thing. And over time, the tartness took the back seat to a more funky Brett influence of kind of barnyard hay, horse blanket, some tropical fruit and nice bready notes, but definitely some funky bready notes too. So we kind of went back to the drawing board, and this guy James Faw, who runs Real Brewers East in Oceanside near our meadery, just showed up on our doorstep and was like, "Hey, how can we help you?" And it was like, "Oh my gosh, are you serious? You're a PhD in microbiology and you have a yeast lab and you're doing sour bugs and looking at sour bugs on mead? Oh my gosh, let me get you a bottle list." So we got him a bottle of like one of our awesome sours, and we were like, can you identify what made this so awesome? And he found this lactobacillus. But it's kind of a funky lactobacillus under the microscope. It kind of looks more like a star than the traditional rod of a lactobacillus. And isolated it and grew it up. And so then Chris took that and turned it into some test batches. So I'll let Chris take it from there on where we're at and how we've achieved success despite a few little setbacks and what the next steps are with the sour project.
Okay.
So we got this lactose sample from James Fowl and pitched it right with the yeast at the very beginning, and got this really great, like, bright, sour, tasty mead. One of our issues was pH, and what ended up happening was it dropped to like 2.8, stalled the fermentation out. And so our next round of experiments is going to be about timing the lacto pitch, and then preemptively buffering the pH so that fermentation continues to carry through to the end.
And so we used Safale 05, which is kind of our house yeast, and we pitched about 80 million cells per milliliter. Is that right, Chris? Do you remember what the cell count was of the pitch of lactobacillus? Because this is totally a non-standard thing that is, important to pay attention to. And I don't have the data in front of me, but Chris, do you know what that number was?
I don't remember. I know we pitched way more than we had to.
And then we got it down to about 5.5 bricks when that low pH started to make it thaw out. Is that right?
Right.
Yeah. So the Safale seemed to be capable of fermenting it down to about three-quarters of the way through. Our starting bricks is usually around 20, 22. And then got it down to 5.5, and then that low pH just really made it go dormant. So Chris added a little bit of calcium carbonate, and it picked back up. Right, Chris? You roused it a little?
A little bit. It picked up again, but kind of chugging along. Last I checked it was still at 4 bricks, so still pretty high.
Okay. Shoot. You guys still there?
Shoot.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay, good. I just got a thing pop up, and I thought, crap, it just told me. Okay, go on. I'm sorry. I did not mean to interrupt. You're on a roll here. So, I mean, what did you figure out? I'm curious about, like, the bones of this thing. What kind of got you here in the first place, and then what sorts of yeast were you playing with? I know there's a lot of meters out there that are, like, frantically taking notes right now. Trying to figure out, like, what all happened. Did I go away?
I've still got you.
Okay. Oh, did we lose the guys? Oh, shit, we lost the guys. My,
Did you elbow a button?
No, it just bumped me because apparently I had only 5 minutes left on my Skypey credit. And I'm like, no. Bear with us, guys. Yeah, go ahead and call him back on yours and get him in. And let's do that, and I'm going to go ahead and get more minutes on this end because it's just being...
I have no idea how to call through on Skype, and the last time I tried calling anything, it told me I needed money.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, listeners, please hold while we straighten out some technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. apparently Microsoft has decided that there's something that I didn't even know about that says I can only have X number of minutes. I'm like,